Hello everyone and welcome to What's Cooking at Our House. I'm Connie Hampton here with my friend
Dottie Phelps, and I'd like to welcome you once again to my home and especially to my kitchen.
It's where it smells the best.
Yes, it smells really good in here. So Connie and I are getting ready to cook you a chocolate cake.
Everybody's favorite.
Well, it is actually the best ever chocolate cake is the name of it.
Right.
And to tell you the truth, I know some of you have seen us and have gotten the recipe for the vodka cake.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in competition with the vodka cake.
Oh gosh,
so,
we've had lots of requests for the vodka cake. And we've done a couple of variations. We've used orange vodka.
Yes.
And then just the regular vodka.
Right.
Two different variations, but it's good both ways.
It's good both ways.
Gives it a different twang. But the best chocolate cake ever, you think might be, we should have a taste test or something?
What I'd like to do is I'd like to have both of them side by side and have people to taste each one and see which they like the best. But I want to tell you, it's absolutely wonderful.
I would suggest maybe Betty Bradshaw.
Well, perhaps, and I took a piece of that best ever chocolate cake down to Cecil down at Quality Center, and I went back, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, and he said, whatever you do, don't lose that recipe. Well, I kind of got in a panic because I had mislaid it, but I found it again, so we've got it, and that's what we're going to cook here today.
Very good. I can't wait. The chocolate smells great.
Yes. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare these pans to bake in. And what we have to do is you have to, it says to grease them, but what I use that spray, that cooking spray, it's a lot easier. And you have to spray the bottom of them. Then we have to cut a circle out of wax paper and put it in there, and then you spray the paper also. So if you want to go ahead and start with that one, I'm going to get some wax paper here, and I'm going to show you how to measure this wax paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double this so we only have to cut once. And I just fold it in half, like so. There, you want to use that one?
Spray that.
And I'm going to set that on there so I can measure. And you can do it however you want to do it. I usually just take my fingernail and go around, and hopefully it's enough of an impression that I can cut.
Sure.
I need to wipe my hands, so if you want to go ahead and cut that, I should have done that before I had you spray. But anyway, it makes it real easy, and then once you get that cut, we're going to put it in the bottom of that pan, and then you spray it again. That's to be sure that it does not stick at all.
So we got it covered with all bases with 2 sprays and the wax paper.
Right, but it just makes it easier, and it comes out of the pan real easy, and then you just peel that wax paper off and it's good to go.
I think my wax paper might have slid.
Alright,
So
we're going to put this in here, and if it goes up the side a little bit, don't worry about it, it's okay. Actually, I think I got this one just perfect. Looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here. Let's just go around the edges, and so you want to be sure that that adheres good to the bottom of that pan. And then we're going to spray it again.
Okay. I think we're going to have to go with
Well, that's
can number 2.
Can number 2. I knew that one was about empty. So we're going, once we get this done, we're going to set these aside, and we're going to start mixing the cake.
Bring the chocolate on.
Okay. I'm going to give these instructions and let you start mixing, and if you want to, we're going to put the dry ingredients in here, and we're going to use a whisk to get this mixed up good, because I found a whisk works better than just a spoon, because
or a fork.
Yeah,
I love a whisk.
Right.
I love a whisk.
Okay, so we're going to mix the flour, and this is let's see, this is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and yeah, be careful that you don't and when you put this cocoa in, this chocolate, be careful that you don't get that all over you.
Well, I was measuring at my house and I had it all over my kitchen.
Yeah.
So I know where you're coming from.
So
You've seen me in action before.
yeah, we're going to put the cocoa in.
Okay.
And just, yeah, once you, would you rather have a spoon to dip it with, or?
I think I'll just kind of let it
Yeah, okay.
slip out here. And
Once you get it in there, it will be
Right.
fine. And
but
let's
it
see.
does like to, once you get it on the counter, it's like, yuck.
Yeah,
It sure smells good.
I love chocolate. Usually when I want something sweet, it's chocolate.
Well, a friend of mine gave me a candle for Christmas, and it was a chocolate
Oh,
candle.
my.
And oh man, it smells great. And it's about this color.
Yeah.
It's about the color of the flour and chocolate together. Cocoa.
All right.
It likes to stick to the bottom.
Yes, it does. And why, I don't know. You're going to find that the powdered sugar does the same. Let me
Get a
because we want to get all that
want all that
chocolate.
good
We
stuff.
want all that good stuff in there. And let me put the baking soda in there. And you'll need to get down on the bottom.
Because I don't have it.
Yeah,
I can see white.
the baking powders. That whisk is really good to help incorporate all that, and you sure want to get that done before you start adding that to your the liquid to the wet ingredients. And let's see, the salt. Here's the salt. We need to get that in there. Got it?
It's a good thing we have a glass.
Yeah, when you mix this up, if you will mix it in a clear glass container, that way you can see when you've got all that those ingredients mixed together. Because you don't want to start putting that in and have
A glob of white.
a glob of white, yeah, like your baking soda or baking powder or whatever.
Or the flour that's stuck on the bottom.
Right. I think that looks pretty good, Connie.
Well, right there, I've got a
One spot.
I can see one right there.
Here,
I might have got it
one
with
there's
this.
one on this side too. See it? Can you see it right in
I
here?
think I grabbed it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And there's one right there. Okay, I think I've got
I
it.
think we're good to go.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start our other ingredients. Okay. Let's see. And you want a good sized bowl when you mix this up. And I did mine yesterday. I used this, so we're good to go.
You're safe.
Yeah. So we're going to beat the butter, and that calls for a what does it say? 1 3/4 cup, which would be a stick and a half. And that your butter is already pretty soft, so this should go together really good. And then the rest of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to beat this butter on medium-high speed for about 30 seconds. And I've got a timer on there, Connie, if you
Okay.
want to time it.
Yeah, here we go.
turn
How
it up.
long we're going to do this?
30 seconds.
So we're going to talk loud.
We're going to talk loud.
Here we go.
So, yeah, and you just beat that for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's how you increase it.
There we
Yeah.
go. I love playing with other people's toys.
Are you 30 seconds yet?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Hang on, baby.
Well,
And it's a go.
all right. Well, go ahead and leave it
Keep it
running.
going and you're gonna
Yeah,
add
keep
that
it
in?
going and do it on low, your lowest. This turns it on.
And lowest speed, so we don't
Just
throw
leave
out.
it. Yeah, just leave it right there.
Let you go.
Yeah, and we're going to add this. It says about 1/4 of a cup at a time, It's just enough that you can get that all incorporated good before you add the next.
Again, that keeps it from sticking to the bottom and it all gets mixed well.
Yeah, it'll get mixed evenly. And we'll probably have to scrape down the sides here in a minute. But I like to get it all in there and then get it done.
Get her done.
Okay. And I'm just guessing at this 1/4 of a cup. I don't know. Again, the recipe is just a guideline. You can use your own judgment on a lot of this stuff.
Well, and you can see how it's going together.
Right,
so.
right. I'm a hands-on cook.
I'm telling you. It's okay if we lick our fingers, yes?
Oh, yeah. I've been known to do that on camera before. You might want to increase that one. I don't think you did. There you go. There you go.
Now we're talking. It's getting a little more consistency to it.
Yeah. Once we get this sugar in there, we're going to be sure that that's well combined, 3 to 4 minutes, which we've already done some. Yeah, we've got a good start on it.
Lay some more on me here.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
All right.
Into the sugar.
Into the sugar. Okay, and we're going to have to add the eggs one at a time. And you want to beat, after you get that in, you want to beat these eggs. Actually, it's going to be about a minute total for all 3 eggs.
Okay.
You just want to get them incorporated good.
Now, do you mean stop before
I want you to stop unless...
you don't want the egg on your ceiling?
No. And I want to scrape that down with a spatula.
The sides, sure.
And that way we get all that. If you want to put that back down in there, I'm going to, I'm just going to push that out. And once you get the eggs in there, that's going to all come together.
Right.
So.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does look good.
I think it mixed well.
Yes, it did. Put your beaters back over there, and I'm going to scrape that off. Okay, I'm gonna start putting these eggs in. Yeah, go ahead and start it if you would. Yeah, don't stop it. I'm just going to put it in there.
I'm going to go to the side, get out of your way. It's going to the ceiling. Just kidding.
Well,
these
it wouldn't be the first thing, I guess.
Farm fresh eggs.
Yes, these are farm fresh eggs, and as you notice, I'm not doing those with one hand because they are harder to do with one hand than if they're fresh. So I don't want any shell in there. So we're doing them the old-fashioned way.
I do have a harder shell than what you buy at the store.
Right. Okay. Then we've got to add the vanilla. And I noticed Connie has white vanilla. I'm assuming that was the vanilla, right?
Yes.
And it really doesn't matter. Your dark vanilla is not going to show up in chocolate cake. Well, if I'm doing a white, slow that down some, Connie.
That came from Mexico.
Yes. Okay. I don't want to, I mean, it doesn't make any difference if you're using the dark with chocolate, but if you're making like a buttercream icing or something, you'd want to use the white.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to add this. We got to add, no, that's for the, I'm sorry, that's for the icing. Right. I was about to get confused here. We're going to add this flour and the chocolate, and we're going to add, oh wait a minute, I got to get this milk over here too. We need to add that milk alternately with this.
I knew there was some little trick here where we were going to juggle.
Yeah. Okay.
How did you do this by yourself?
Well, I just did it. I just did it.
See, I'm used to a mixer on a stand, so
Yeah.
that makes a difference too.
Well, I have a mixer on a stand, but it's like a major operation to get it down out of the cabinet.
Okay.
So I don't use it that often
Plus,
unless
we
I've got
decided
something
it's
really.
too loud for TV.
It is, yeah, it is really loud for TV.
So a little bit of milk, a little bit of chocolate.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the flour first, or some of it first, and then we'll add some of the milk. And I want you to just keep beating.
Okay, here we go.
I'm trying not to mess up your recipes here with that
That's why I've got them in
dripping on
covers.
them. Yeah, no kidding. Why does that look like that? Okay. We'll get that all incorporated good, and this is going to be so good.
I'm salivating.
I know. I love chocolate. That's my favorite. And it doesn't take very much. It won't take very long to get this put together. And the main thing is to have all your ingredients
Ready, set,
out,
go.
ready, set, go. And then it doesn't take very long at all.
Well, that butter, it was already soft because we had it out, so that didn't
Right.
take any time at all. Where if you'd had to wait for it to get softened,
Well, you know how to soften butter if you don't have it soft?
put it in the microwave.
Very short time. A very short time. A very short time. I'm really making a mess here. I should have put that in a cup to. We're going to do just a little more, and then we're going to, once we get
Scrape
all
it
this in
again.
there, we're going to scrape it, and we're going to beat it just for a few seconds
Okay.
longer. Okay, let's put the rest of this in.
End of the dry.
All right, let's go ahead and put the balance of the milk in. Now shut it off, Connie, and let me scrape down the sides, and then we're going to beat it just a little bit more. We just want to be sure that we've got this all incorporated good. Up. Don't do that. Those got raw eggs in it. You know, it's hard not to do that, but I try not to.
Really?
Simply because of the
Raw
raw eggs that are in it.
Well, if I
But
fall out, y'all know what happened.
We'll know what happened.
Instead
all
of that
right.
chocolate going on the floor, honey.
Boy, me either. I don't really want to mop tonight. Okay, let me get. That looks pretty good. I think that's close enough.
Got it?
I think that's got it.
Sorry, cameraman. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm just.
I think that's
bouncing
enough,
around
Connie. You don't want to beat it too much.
here. Okay.
If you over beat it, it'll make it tough.
I'm ready to eject.
Yeah, right here. That's all right. That's where it's going.
All right. There we go.
Okay, we're going to pour this in. You want to evenly divide it between the two, if you can. I have.
Called eyeballing it.
That's called eyeballing it, and I have been known to take some out of one and put in another if I think I've got too much, because you want to get that You want to get it even. Now, if you want to kind of shake that around for me.
And I noticed on our recipe, which I thought was good, it suggested either a round or a square.
Yes.
So many times I just never think of a square cake. I always think of a round cake.
Well, you can do a square or the put it in the 13-inch.
Right, 13 by 9.
13 by 9.
But I was glad that that was added to the recipe, that square or round. I always think of a round cake.
Yeah.
But a square cake,
it's just as good.
just as good, plus just a little different.
Well, if you bake it in the 9 by 13, then you don't have to take it out of the pan and do all that. And you just take your icing and just pour it on top, spread it over. Whereas with these layer cakes,
then you've got to get the cake stand out and the cover. And
yes.
Plus it makes a nice display.
Yes, it makes a nice display. All right, I think I pretty well got that even. And I noticed yesterday, mine baked really even. You know, sometimes your cake will, the top of it will be kind of puffed up in the center, but this came out real good. And I think this one is going to too. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. All right, and if you want to put that in the oven, 350.
Ready for the oven. Here we go.
And they both will fit in there. Yeah, this one kind of to the side here and that one on that side. I think your pans might have been a little smaller than mine. Of course, I baked mine in that those air that has the air bottom, and they're a little bit bigger. So anyway, well, we're going to clear this off, and then we're going to make the icing.
Did you want to say something about your flowers?
Yes, this is my first bouquet of the season. These are those early snowdrops, and I went out there Saturday to feed the fish, and I looked out in the yard and I thought, oh, what is that? Something white's blowed out there. Well, these had come up, I guess, overnight because I hadn't noticed them the day before, but they're those early snowdrops, and I thought we'd just make a little bouquet.
We'll be right back. Don't leave us. Welcome back, everyone, to What's Cooking in Our House. Connie and I. Dottie, I'm Connie.
You'll be all right. My name's Dottie, and you're Connie.
Okay. Dottie has been at the stove doing some melting of the chocolate.
Yeah.
And everything is starting to smell really, 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 really good.
Yes, 12 ounces of chocolate chips and a stick of butter.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, you melt that slowly over a low heat, and you stir it. I kind of stir it constantly. It says occasionally in the recipe, but I'm always afraid I'm going to burn it. And if you do burn it,
scorch it.
Yeah, if you scorch it, you got to throw it out and start all over again. And you don't want to do that because it's time consuming and it's expensive. Everything's expensive anymore. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to ice a cake without messing up your plate, your serving plate. And what you do is you just take wax paper and you put it around, and once you're finished, then you just pull it out. Hopefully it will pull right out. No, I'm just kidding. It will. That way you don't mess up your. You don't make a mess on the edge of your serving plate. Okay. Now, normally you would want to put your cake on here with your flat side up. And that's what I'm going to do this time. But as you can see, this turned out real well. It's as flat as the bottom is.
Right.
But we're going to put this on here like so.
It looks so moist.
It looks so moist, and I think it's going to be.
We've got to do icing.
Yeah, I've got to do the icing first, and this needs to cool for just a minute. Okay. So if you want to go ahead and give them
what we've been doing?
Yes.
Chocolate sour cream frosting in a large saucepan. Melt 1 12-ounce package with a 2 cups of Tennessee chocolate pieces and a half a cup of butter over low heat, stirring frequently. Cool for 5 minutes, which that's the stage that we're in right now. Stir in 8 ounces of sour cream. Gradually add 4 1/2 cups of sifted powdered sugar, beating with an electric mixer until smooth. And then this frosting tops the sides of 2 or 3 8 or 9-inch cake layers, and half of the recipe will frost a 13 by 9 cake, 13 by 9-inch cake. Cover and store in the refrigerator.
Yeah, because of the sour
Sour
cream.
cream.
Yeah, because of the sour cream. But anyway, and that powdered sugar, I've already sifted it.
Right.
And you want to be sure and sift that powdered sugar, because if you don't, there's always lumps in it. Now once you've sifted, if you want to take your hand or a spoon and kind of smooth that out so you don't waste any, that's fine. But you just don't want to have those lumps in there.
Right.
So I'm going to get a cup, a measuring cup, so that we can measure that to be sure. Now, probably what's going to happen, well, here, I've got one right here. I put in 4 cups in this when I sifted it. And when I take out 4 cups, it's probably going to be, there's probably going to be more than 4 cups in there, because when you sift that, it aerates that, and it has more volume.
Increases the volume.
Yes, it increases the volume.
This is a scientific experiment.
This is a scientific experiment here. Okay, so let's see here. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do that because you're close to the?
Okay.
Let me get a spatula so I can clean this off.
Okay.
And
I'm ready to put this together and cut it and eat it, baby.
I'm a firm believer in not wasting anything.
Waste not,
Want not. That's what my grandmother always told me.
That's probably a good thing she told
Good
us.
advice. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that spatula right there, because I'm probably going to need that again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Put that over here. Okay. Now we need, let's see, what does that say to put in first?
Sour cream.
Sour cream.
Cool for 5 minutes. Stir in 8 ounces of sour cream, and then we're gradually going to add the powdered sugar.
Okay.
And then we're ready to put it together.
This is good. It's really good. I've made this before and I really liked it. You want to hold that over there and I'll...
Which is unusual for us. We usually do recipes that we've never tried
Yeah,
before.
that's true. That's very
And hope
true.
for the best.
But you know, when I was getting the menu ready for today, I thought, boy, that chocolate cake would really be nice. Okay.
Ready, set?
Ready, set, go.
Okay.
And I don't, once we start putting this in, lower that speed back down.
Okay.
I don't really want to.
Throw it all over the floor.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lot more than 4 cups. However, once we get this all mixed in, if it's not stiff enough, then we can add a little bit more.
Okay.
That's 2. Sometimes I lose count when I'm doing this.
I'm glad you said that, because
And I think, well, now how many did I put in? Especially if you're making bread, you know, and it calls for like 6 cups of flour. And I'll think, well, have I...
distracted.
Yeah, I get distracted or the phone will ring. And I'll think, well, how many did I put in? So if I'm doing like that, I usually just write down when I put it in there. All right, this is 3.
If you say so.
Now, see, you put it out in my mind. Okay. Yeah, it's getting kind of stiff. I think probably the 4 cups is going to do it. But you can see here how much I've got left in this bowl. There's quite a bit there because once it's sifted, it has more volume. But if that's not stiff enough, then we'll add more. But I think it's going to be. We can get those sides. I'm going to get my knife that I spread this with right quick.
Okay.
All right, why don't we
Use
scrape
that
those?
spatula.
Yeah, why don't we scrape those sides and let's see what we got here.
Oh, baby.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
I think
kind of in between
I
there.
think I'm going to put just a little bit more because I don't want that top layer to slide off of there.
Right.
That would not be good.
Just right on the edge of being.
Yes. And you can judge it. Like I said, this recipe is it's just a guideline for you to go by. You don't have to. How's it looking? How's it feel?
Looks good. The addition was good.
All right, let's try it again. Let me scrape those sides down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is
Tell
better.
all the difference in it.
Yeah, this is better. I think that's about right, don't you?
I do. It looks. It's amazing what just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit will do. Yeah. All right. What I'm going to do is this is what they call an offset icing spreader knife, and I'm going to spread this on here with that. It's another one of my gadgets. I always have gadgets.
You gotta have your toys.
Gotta have my toys. Okay.
I'm just really. They look so moist. The layers look so moist.
They are. It's of course all that butter and.
I've got to go back sometime and look. My mother used to make a Miracle Whip cake.
Yeah.
It's a chocolate cake, and I mean she always made that, and it looked like this.
Yeah.
Very moist.
Well, that that Miracle Whip or mayonnaise. If when you're making grilled cheese, use that instead of use mayonnaise instead of butter on your bread, and it does the same thing. It makes it real nice and moist. I'm going to put just a little bit more on this edge because I want it to be even.
Well, and it says this frosting tops and sides. Frost tops and sides of 2. Okay, yeah, okay. It's
all right.
13 by 9 that will have extra.
Right.
So we're making a 13 by 9.
If I can
Find the end of the
find
saran
the end
wrap.
of the saran wrap, that stuff really sticks. But
It does the job.
yeah, it does what it's supposed to do. I wonder
Flip it.
if I need
There
to
you
flip
go.
it.
Flip that puppy.
I tell you what, I'm surprised as many times as I've moved it because you put it on a cooling rack, and you be sure when you do your cake, you
have to flip it again.
let it cool in the pan at least 10 minutes. And if you're using those air bake pans, let it cool about 15 minutes. And then you put it out on a cooling rack, and you have to let it cool completely.
Perfect. And the color is just
Color is very nice.
So rich
Very
looking.
nice, yes. And we're going to see what we can do here. Okay. Now,
There's always a special day that you need a good chocolate cake for somebody.
oh yeah,
And if you don't have a special day, make it up.
that's right.
it's not your birthday.
Well, you know
can
what I always
pretend.
say. I always think I'm special and my family's special, so.
Make them a good old, the best ever chocolate cake.
Right. Okay, I'm going to have some more. And we're going to start doing these sides. And we'll see what it looks like. And sometimes I do really good and sometimes I don't do too good. So I never know how it's going to turn out. But this looks like it's doing pretty good.
I put my money on you, honey.
Well, and again, if you don't get this icing at the right consistency, it's not going to do very good. But you can tell once you get that.
Once you get the plan.
Yeah, you can tell if it's spreadable or not, or if it's too runny. Okay, we're going to have plenty icing.
That's good because I like icing.
Yep. Oh,
What was? Cameraman does too.
There was one cake we did, and I didn't really have enough, so we just had to wing it.
And we're here to tell them.
Oh yeah, well, you know, and I make mistakes. God knows I make mistakes. Not everything I make turns out, but most of the time it does.
Now, Dottie, sometimes when you're icing a cake and you get crumbs.
Yeah, it's a good idea to put a thin layer of icing on there.
Just to kind of
and let it set, yeah. Or you can freeze your layers and then put your icing on, and it will take care of those crumbs.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to have some crumbs here because this cake is really moist. But we won't show that side, right?
That's just something that I've ran into, and I don't know. It's got to be.
It's very common because your cake is so soft that when you start putting that icing on there, you're going to get some crumbs. But you can, like I said, you can put a real thin layer on and let it set for just a minute, or put your cake in the freezer. That one that I was talking about a while ago where I didn't have enough icing, I froze it because it was absolutely falling apart.
Right.
So I froze it, and
because it was so moist, or
it was so moist, and I don't know if it was because I had baked it in that those air bake pans and took it out of the pan too soon. But if you're using those air bake pans, you need to let that cool in the pan at least 15 minutes. Now you don't want to leave it in there too long, or it's gonna stick. Will stick. So I think we've just about got these sides done pretty nicely. I'm gonna go on around here and try to smooth that out. Get a little bit more here. We've got it. We might as well use it, right?
Right on.
So I'm going to put some more up here on top. And there's a lot of things that you can do to decorate this. You can take a spoon and
Want it all?
yeah. You can take a spoon and do little circles in it, and yeah.
Sprinkles, little chocolate sprinkles.
Yeah, or you can put some pecans in the center of it, or you can chop up some pecans and sprinkle it on top. I probably should have done that. It makes a more attractive cake. But you can take take the back of a spoon. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And just swirl it like so.
Let your inner creativity
And yeah,
come out.
and lift up on it, and that's going to give you a little peek. I think I've got a little bit too much right there in the center. All right,
Cute.
now let's see if we can pull this out. And you've got your cake
On a clean.
on a clean plate. How about that?
I'll tell you what.
Is that not pretty? And I'll tell you what, that's going to taste so good. I am
It's chocolate in it.
so hungry.
Story of our lives. We're always hungry. Especially over cookies.
We're always hungry.
Best ever chocolate cake. Right here in Miss Dottie's kitchen on What's Cooking in Our House. For this recipe or any recipes, you can send an email to
Recipes at YHCtv.com.
Right.
Do we want to cut that?
Well, of course we want to cut that.
All right.
And as you're watching our show, the recipe will be scrolling there at the bottom. And if you want that recipe, send us an email. You can call the number that's there on the bottom, YHCtv, there in downtown Texas. And Mr. Tyler will get you that recipe, or Miss Dottie will email it to you, or some way we'll get that to you. And we're so glad to share.
Oh yeah, it always makes
We're
me
glad to
happy.
share recipes, but we're not glad to share it. No, we'll share a cake.
Yeah, we'll share the cake too. In fact, we will deliver this all over.
Because we can't eat the whole thing.
But it,
Oh my.
oh,
Oh my.
let me get you a fork.
Oh my.
That looks so good.
You know, like you said earlier, the vodka cake was good.
But this is good too. It's very good.
You've been there, done that.
Oh yes, it's very good. Good?
Very good. Very good.
Tyler is salivating over there.
Tyler's behind the camera.
Yeah.
I've got one more piece, Tyler, then I'll say goodbye. But, you know, if one is good, two is better.
Good? Okay.
Good.
Good deal. Don't forget, if you want the recipe,
Good.
go to recipes at yhctv.com, and those come directly to me, and I'll be happy to get it right back out to you.
Dottie, good choice.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
choice.
you.
I hope Miss Betty's watching, because I know she's a chocoholic.
She's a
And I'm
chocoholic.
sure there's some other chocoholics out there, and thank you for joining us. We love being in your homes and sharing recipes with you, and watch YHCtv, and we'll have some more good recipes for you. Thank you, Miss Dottie.
Sounds good. I'm glad that you stopped by, and see you next time.